Every time I go to do this microphone, it decides to scroll up at every single moment. So, as promised, I was going to do this on stream, but it's come on the day before stream, and there's some technical issues going on with streaming at the moment. So, here we are. I was promised somebody, I still can't, I'm not allowed to name them, so somebody who knows who they are has sent me something from Space Wolves. That's all I know from the Horus Heresy, is it's something from Space Wolves. So here we are. It is still plastic wrapped. I have no idea who or what it is in here yet, so here we go. It's a surprise for me too. So I was told there was supposed to be 2 models, but one ended up being out of stock at the time of order, so we've got 1. That's the only information I've got, is that they were trying to order 2, but we've got 1. At a later date, they'll send the other one when it becomes available. And this is because they want to gift me some Space Wolves so that I can play against Odin's Dark Angels. Now, if you've been watching me on stream for a while, on the ones I could publish, you'll know that I've been pretty much for the past several months endlessly painting Odin's Dark Angels, to the point that they are somewhat infuriating me at this point, because the minis are so warped, or something's going wrong with them, or the casting is awful and they're not, you know, where they should be, and they don't attach the way they should be, or paints aren't behaving, you know, painting trouble. So remember, kids, if you're watching this, would use one of these with a responsible adult. I am legally obliged to tell you, with a responsible adult. I don't know where you'd find one of these responsible adults that's into the hobby, but use one of these with responsible adult. Legal duty done. Right, so I will be using this because I can't find my scissors to open this. So, without any further ado, let's see who it is from the Horus Heresy. I mean, there are actually things where I'm supposed to be able to go along this box and open it normally, but I'm not normal. We know this. So I'm just going to go turn on our reveal music, because if you don't know already, Lonewolf Clan has a new music channel. It's called Lonewolf Clan Music. We have our own AI generated music there that is copyright royalty free. All we ask, yes, this is a bit of a plug, all we ask is that you email us so that we can send you the written confirmation with a timestamp and everything, and that you credit us if you use it. If you're going to remix it, please do so tastefully. It's also the Wolves of Odin, kind of fitting for Space Wolves. I don't know who this is. All I know is it's one of 2 models I can expect. I know it probably says on the bottom, but I'm purposely not reading spoilers. Let's see who this is. If I can even get this wrap off. Oh, okay. Oh. Horrible wrap done. Who have we got? It is that Russ? It is Leman Russ, Space Wolves. Now we can read spoilers, for we have opened him. Right. So we're going to put the sharp object away, and we're going to get the tweezers. Now the reason I'm using the tweezers, one thing I've learned from dealing with the lion, in a similar box, it's the easiest way to lift these boxes out. So let's see the work we're going to have to do on these. I will still be streaming on Wednesday if you are watching this on the Monday or Tuesday whenever I publish this. I will still be streaming on the Wednesday, unless health or real life get in the way. So we'll put that neat handy box over there. Put the tweezers there in case we need it. Of course, what we're going to need, where's the fleck brush? Come on, I know you're in my great big tool jar here. 1 fleck brush. Ah, now we need the sharp object again. This is why you need a responsible adult when doing minis in general, minis in general. Because there's a lot of tape and a lot of cutting, all kinds of stuff. Why did my song cut short? Oh, it's being a weird song. Okay, right. The Wolves of Asgard. Careful, I may sing along to this one because I actually wrote the lyrics to this one. Right. The Forge World thing. I mean, they're not even Forge World anymore, they're all just Warhammer. Right, so I've got a bar of that to get rid of. A little bit of fleck, but nothing too terrible. This looks like his diorama and base. There's his base. It's not too bad, actually. I'm actually impressed. Thank you for impressing me for once, guys. I'm usually, you know, disappointed with the amount of cleaning I have to do, or bubble work where I have to repair air bubbles. So far, so good. Let's keep up this impression. I like it when I am happily impressed. And you prove me wrong like this. I enjoy this. I enjoy this, Forge World. Please keep this up. Right. See how I put the safety cap back on. Yeah, thank you. Right. Hello, Fly. Go away, Fly. Oh no! Why you do this? Look at this for size comparison. My thumbnail. Is it randomly cutting off songs? Okay, so my media player has gone into basically what I can only describe as preview mode of my own songs. Which is probably fair. You guys can go listen to it on the Lonewolf Music channel. Alright, I will link that in the description below. So these are tiny seals. I'm assuming they're seals. They're tiny enough to be seals. His arms. Oh, tiny bit of cleaning up, but not exactly the end of the world. It's only a little bit of fleck. Ooh. I mean, I'm not quite sure how those would work on a jetpack, but so that's 4 wolves. So, what? Fury, Frecky, Garmin, Fenris? The main 4 wolves of Asgard? 6 in total, if you need to work on mythology. A little bit of fleck there. I will be spraying these probably while they're still on their bases, so let's get them cleaned up before we spray them. Where did that run away to? Thank you. Right. So I'm not wearing my feather specs, as I like to call them, which is basically like magnifying glass with mini specs, so I can see the tiny bits. And these are pretty small on the fine bees, so I'm going to be really careful on fine these, because they could lose the detail a little too easily. I haven't got his sword yet, Odin. Odin is now curious. He's not seen the Space Wolf Forge World minis outside of images yet. And yeah, I will keep an eye on the sword and spear, because if... Is it an axe? Sorry, yeah, it's an axe, isn't it? Ah, you'd think being a Space Wolf player I'd know this. I bring shame to my chapter. I bring shame to my chapter. I don't know what my Primarch is wielding.
Fang of the Wolf is a sword, and his axe is called Hellwinter.
Right, so this is dagger. So we're looking for his weapons. There they are. Hellwinter and Fang of the Wolf. Right. Reflect. Oh, we do have an air bubble.
That's what I was just saying.
One small air bubble though. I can probably green stuff that. That's no big deal. We've got fleck in the very end, so we'll get rid of that as well.
That's what I was concerned about. I think mine will get enough of it.
No, we didn't. We have about 8 air bubbles in mine.
Sword.
Yeah. This big sword, the one that we ended up not using, had 8 air bubbles.
So good. It was good though.
Yeah, we used this chainsaw. So, I would like to thank the person who is not allowed to be named for reading this. So I'm assuming the one that wasn't in, because the one that goes with Leman and Russ can only be Gary and Preppy. Yeah, the wolf thing. So he has Odin's law. I think this is why I like Space Wolves and I'm going to call them Death Ravens. I will always call them Death Ravens.
It also explains why
It's because it's basically the ravens of Odin, the wolves of Odin, and the might of Thor. And that's, if you put the 3 chapters together, that's Dark Angels, Raven Guard, and Space Wolves. I'm going to gently bring certain points off these, yeah, without taking off the middle one. The reason being is it makes it easier to spray them if I keep them on the sprigs. Just because I can hold them like that in the spray cap palette. So when I'm spraying them, I've got something to hold on to them with without having to do too much to them. It allows me to clean up the main point, and since that will be getting filed down, you won't really notice that bit. Hopefully, unless it comes off in my hand, that is not unknown. So I'll give them a clean up. So I'll name this video Reveal and Clean Up. It will be a raw video.
We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game of field of flame. Sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the long houses of gaming, will come share our name, the Lonewolf Clan.
It's not too terrible. Just got like that little lump that's left on the end there with that. So I'm not cutting with this, I'm gently scraping the top there. So that removes that little weird bit of fleck at the top without having to put pressure on like I would with, say, a mould line remover. Use the craft knives to gently shave that off. Now I can get my little drilling thing out. We all know my little drill by now. My little engraver, which I can use to shave it down, but it won't have the same effect. With this, if I follow the blade, I keep the shape of the blade. So it's down to my own skill. So I can clean it up a bit. I am seeing there, but there's no doing need to do some green stuff before I spray it. So doing this is a good idea anyway to pre-clean. I'll tell you whose blade it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Soul Reaper from Legacy of Kain. Just without the wavy blade. It's a straight blade. But this bit here is very much Soul Reaper from Legacy of Kain. It's going to be a nightmare to paint. The reason I say it's going to be a nightmare is the detail is so fine that primer's going to easily fill that. And I'm a little bit worried about that. Well, that's normally spray from about 30 centimeters. But these mold lines down here. Kind of looks like Conan's sword this bit, and then Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver this bit. According to this picture, it is red.
Yeah, it goes from pale blue to red to black.
I am going to have to put the axe in hot water. Or it is a curved axe right now. It looks more like a boomerang than an axe. Yes. That's flex. hopefully get some support. There we go. Take that out. So there's 2 bits of leather here that I'm going to leave stuck, because where these are actually stuck is where it actually glues, so that's all good. Got a little gun there. Just need a little bit of a brush. Don't bury my brush. Don't you bury my brush? There it is. Buried under his knee. Apologise if you're hearing a bubbling in the background. Somehow one of my fish tank boxes has got air bubbles in it. I'm going to have to look into that in a bit, I think. What else needs cleaning up? I mean, this is average flex, so you know, I'm used to big chunks like that, really, like that one. But so far, I'm not disappointed like I was with some of the other models so far. I say so far because things may change. I often find a fault somewhere. I'm going to put the cleaned up ones back in here. Separate the clean ones. I think can go there. Right, should just need to brush over. Wolf cloak. We've got a bunch of wolf fangs and what looks like a handle for a weapon. But it is covered in dusty fleck, so basically off print or off cast fleck, which is what they make these little brushes for. These came out when they started using fine cast over at Games Workshop. I still have to say I'm still not impressed with fine cast resins. The amount of air bubbles I have to spend all my time fixing. It's like, come on, you're making me pay 50, 60 quid for these models or more. At least have the decency to make sure they're in good condition. So we're going to be losing some fur on this one, because what's happened is where it's gone into the cast, it's made an air bubble, and the air bubble's right in the part. But it's not.
Not as bad as Orion, that wood elf.
Oh yes, I remember Orion from the Wood Elf during the early days. I think that was 2011. Wood Elf Orion. Now, if you look on my Instagram and over on Ocean's Den, you will see an image of Orion. I had to completely redo that entire spear. That spear he is holding is not the original Games Workshop spear. That is an entire remodel from Green Stuff. Because their fine cast is so full of air bubbles, you end up spending most of your time resculpting. At which point, what was the point in buying it? I may have made my own model from Green Stuff. Right, so that's that. This is his body. He does need a clean. There's bits like that on him. Right. I'm not too worried about the placement, because those are going to be where he's going to go on the base. The Lonewolf Clan parody is now playing. This is Brimsey's one. He wrote the lyrics to this. See, we're writing, some of us are writing lyrics, some are generating lyrics as well on the musics. And then we're feeding it to our AI generator that then makes music around those lyrics. Okay, scenery. Not too terrible. The scenery seems to be coming out okay. It's much stronger. At the moment, I'm not seeing any air bubbles, which of course is the whole point of this cleanup phase as I reveal it. So far, yeah. It was. The only problem I had with Lionel's diorama was his marines. They didn't want to stay stuck to the base.
Yeah.
This one needs a little bit of remodelling, nothing major, and since we haven't primed it yet, we're still able to do repairs if they're needed. So I can prime it, and Normally I just prime it, then I look for the mistakes and turn off after priming, but a good friend of mine, Mike Moans, has been showing me a few extra techniques while I hang out on his stream, so yes, this is a plug for Mike Moans. Please go check out Mike Moans, Brush for Hire, Brush Liquor. I will generally raid you out to them. Sorry if I haven't mentioned someone, it's only because there's so many of you and I can't remember all your names and I'm rubbish at names. But do know you will get the love too. I will raid out to you when I'm streaming.
Mike Mose was recently just using a hairdryer.
Ah, so apparently on stream, because Ojin is watching at Mike Mose in the background right now, he was just using the hairdryer. Now the hairdryer is another tool for bending resin.
Yes, exactly. Just what he did with the character's hammer.
I won't be doing that to this guy's axe because it might be too warm for this resin. Sorry, my music has just ended. It needs to play again. When I say loop, I mean loop. Come on. There we go. Right. So, as I said, I will be uploading this raw. So this is a reveal and clean video. I may be part assembling some of this stuff to prime it because that would be better for it, especially with the diorama bases. I can already see here where there's a little bit of a misprint, but hey, it's where glue goes. It's all good. This you can get away with. It's only a little bit. My hands don't drop it. And that's not too terrible, it's just a little bit here. And to be honest, when I take it off this thing, I will probably be sanding it down with my little tool anyway. Really not a lot, so we'll be responsible to put that back on there. And over there. Wolf head, wolf fluff and his head. The backpack. We do the backpack first. Right. His hair reminds me of those elves on Kingdoms of Amalur.
Because it's swerved backwards, the motion is charging.
Motion has him charging. Right, so there he is on his image. There he is on his head, he's the one in the middle. It still looks like gnome hair. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like no! Bad Wolfie! Bad! So Wolfie decided, I want to come off! Well, piece of Wolfie. But that's fine, it's clean. We will find a way to stick that onto a head thingy. I mean, I do need to take Wolfie off anyway, looking at him, because the fleck on that is awful. So, yeah, he's going to come off. His head can stay on. We'll get rid of that so it doesn't block the spray. His head's fine now anyway, so that can go in. Right then, Wolfie. I'll give it a jolly good scrub now. The thing is, I've got to work out where fleck is and where fur is. So that's fleck. That angle. That looks like fleck. And that also looks like fleck. The air bubble a bit. So what I shall do is put my clever specs on a moment.
It's got light.
Because I need to see where the fleck is. Because when I spray this, I will end up seeing it in the changes. So Workshop. If you're going to use the runes, learn what they mean. You don't know if you're accidentally casting a spell or casting a rather negative one at that. Right. Okay, so come in with this. Okay. That bit is fine. That can go in. So I can hear what my music is while I'm doing it. Right.
The Lonewolf Clan. Together we roam the vast digital land. Our camaraderie on quest after quest. With pixels, our allies, and joysticks in hand. Join us if you dare among the best. We are shield maidens and berserkers, living for the game of feel the flame. Sons of fire and daughters of ice. In the longhouses of gaming, oh come share our name. The Lonewolf Clan. The Lonewolf Clan. In our hearts, the echoes linger of battles won and legends grand. Write your name and be remembered. Join the saga, take a stand. Join the saga, take a stand.
Right.
Join the saga, take a stand.
Let's head on it.
Join the crew.
Try Quattro to do overall over it. Although it's only in 2s instead of 3s. Power of 3 Games Workshop. Right, and then we've got random runes all the way around. Now, whoever did the runes, damn that skill. Now, I'd like to give credit to that. That is some damn good skill. Right? But they should at least know the pairs of runes they have given them. They've just put runes that look good. Which, yeah, you know, rule of cool, I get. But those that work with runes know that runes can work magic. So, yeah, there's a whole lore behind runes that you should be very careful of. Right. Need a brush for horrible jobs. There it is. Come here!
There's also runes on the diorama as well.
Oh, I've seen runes on the diorama. There's a little bit of liquid runes that it's easy to work with on such a small scale. So just fill up these gaps and I'm going to set it to one side and let it dry. Because you can sand the heck out of all these stuff. So it's the first major trouble I've had to deal with. Plus a little bit of where the fleck broke off from the shield. The mould of print lines themselves. Then they broke off in a bit of a weird way. Here we had a bit of an air bubble that was hidden underneath that print line. Or mould line. I don't know what it's called. And there's a different name for them which makes it confusing for me, so I never know what to do. But then, do I ever wear gloves? I have gloves, right, so I'm going to put that up there to dry. Now where's that sword from? It wasn't a big thing on the sword. So I may not even need it, but I'm going to have a look anyway. Now that I've got these out. bubble. It's a very tiny bubble at the end there. Until it's still wet enough to brush off.
To the heroes roar, legends rise and fall on the distant shore.
Because it's on my thumb and it's gone into the sword. Right. Brush it off where I don't want the green stuff, because it has now filled that little bubble there. Hopefully it's not a precursor to trouble with the sword. We've got another one on the axe. Oh, we've got another one on the axe. Something a bit more precision. Yes. Right on the end. Probably noticed I use this little pin quite a lot. It has so many little jobs. You'd be amazed what you can use in community tools and not have to spend this much time. I'm actually from an era where a lot of the tools you've got available now didn't exist. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad they exist now, so that they're available to people that do know how to use them, but to me, they're a hindrance because I grew up without them. And make makeshift tools to fix the same thing. One little air bubble filled. All I had to do was use a little brush that's only been licked. Yes, all I did was lick this brush. That's the air bubble on the end of the sword filled. And the air bubble on the end of the handle filled using a pin. Now I can still see fleck here. So I'm going to have to come in with my sharp corner. Gently, gently. Sometimes I can make a feature out of an old blanket, they're in just the right place. Here they're not there. They're a bit of a hindrance and damage me too.
Mountains bowing o'er, to the heroes roar, legends rise and fall on the distant shore. Swords and shields align, warriors in a line, victory in sight through the endless night. Heroes of Valhalla, hearts of steel so strong, faces etched in glory.
When you get into the mold line, there are limited to craft life, and I'm not, I do actually have a mold line on me. But in this instance, this is the knife, it's just that much more delicate. You don't press down hard, you just, if I can show you on my finger how not hard it is, you just gently scrape. So you're not doing damage, you just gently scraping away the excess. And I use my finger to show you just how gently I was going. I don't recommend you copying me on that, please.
Mountains bowing o'er, to the heroes roar, legends rise and fall on the distant
Not unless you can really, really trust yourself. I actually do trust my blade wielding skills. I just don't trust my paint handling skills lately. Because of the grip on this knife I have, it's actually heavier and quite robust, and I don't have to clamp down on it too much. But I've seen most of my paints handles. They do actually have these little triangular things. Never mind. The sword doesn't want the plague ball, it doesn't want the sword in the stone, it's the sword in my hand.
Stabbing.
Gamers, you know what that's worth. Lonewolf Clan, the best on earth. Join the chat, laugh with mirth. Lonewolf Clan, home rebirth. Viewers come, they never stray. In our clan, they'll always stay. Even when games like delay, in our hearts they find a way. Lonewolf is a clan on earth. Gaming first, it has great worth. Lost on stream, no chat with me, cause they know it's meant to be. Discord calls, we're just beginning. Understanding games, we're winning.
Very stubborn mold lines down
Streaming
here.
love, no more sinning. In this clan forever grinning. Games we play, deep connections. Lost in virtual reflections. From dusk till dawn we have affection. Gaming's our only direction. Lone Wolf pride, the clan unites. Day and night the screen ignites. With our friends we reach new heights. Gaming's our source of delights.
Work that in the future, because we're going to go right up the handle now. If I do too much on that handle, I'm going to lose the detail. Otherwise, though,
Worst come, they never stray.
ready to go.
In our clan they'll always
Got
stay.
the axe as well in a moment.
Even when games lie delay.
So,
In our hearts they find a way. Ooh, Lone Wolf is a clan on earth. Ooh, gaming first, it has great worth. Ooh, lost on stream, they'll chat with me, cause they know
okay,
it's
so
meant to
I will
be.
take the axe off actually.
Ooh, Discord calls, we're just beginning. Ooh, understanding games, we're winning. Ooh, streaming love, no more sinning, cause they know it's meant to be. Discord calls, we're just beginning. Ooh, understanding games, we're winning. Ooh, streaming love, no more sinning. In this clan, forever grinning. Discord calls, we're just beginning. Understanding games, we're winning. Streaming love, no more sinning. In this clan, forever grinning.
Just shaping this a bit. just on the grounds that, you know, I noticed it just a moment ago that the fleck was along here, and I need to find out if there's air bubbles here that are going to cause misshapes to the axe. Music's doing a thing again. Why is it? Okay, so what it's doing is it's getting halfway through a track and then it's stopping. I have no idea why it's doing that. Stuff over there. I thought I might. Okay. Screen struggling in. It's going to go and warm soapy water. Swipe the brush for horrible jobs. See, as a painter, your brushes never really get thrown away, not until there's literally no bristles in them. They get retired to different stages of life. So this used to be a base coat brush, no, it used to be a wash brush. When it started to display, it's become a brush for horrible jobs, where it will stay a brush for horrible jobs until it has no braces left. I don't want that lump. Lump can go away. Yeah, lump can go away. Finger, and it's done it again. That is a 5-minute song and it's giving you less than 30 seconds. Come on. Right. The way where I don't want it. Oh, let me just headbutt my own microphone here. So I am using the proper stream mic as I do this. It's a really stubborn mould line. Let's get the mould line removed, I wonder. Where are you? I use you for every other job but mould line removing generally. This is a mould line remover for those of you that haven't seen one. It's a little bit more robust than a knife without the sharpness. And it's used for removing particularly stubborn mould lines. Clean it up now with this. So I've got rid of the stubborn mould line, but now I need to remove the scraped lines. So you quite often still end up resulting in one of these. Use a lot. I'm just double checking it. You have to see the amount of air bubbles across that top. Well, I am seeing. Oh. No. What we've got now problem with the mic. Right. So I can see it now that I've got my things on. His hand is full of micro bubbles. Now, if his hand is full of micro bubbles, I can guarantee the axe shaft is going to be full of them as well. Oh, we're going to have to keep an eye on this one. That is a shame. I mean, to be honest, unless, with the micro bubbles, unless the Games Workshop people quality check with pretty much what I'm wearing now, they're really, really easy to miss. But because I'm actually wearing my magnifying glasses, I can see them. And I'm wearing a ×5. This because I need to find such tiny details, and if the Games Workshop / Forge World staff aren't wearing something like that, they're going to miss that so easily because they are so tiny it's hard for a normal, naked eye to see them. But I will have to be careful with that. It's not damaging too much detail, but it does mean that this axe is fragile, so I'm going to have to make sure somehow that I strengthen that. Okay. That should be dry enough to put in there. The shield should also be dry enough to put in there. When that's fully dry, which will take about 24 hours, I will come in and I will shave them up. Right. Actually, here I am telling people to practice good safety measures, and I'm losing my own safety cap. Right. Anyone that watches my stream knows that that's a regular occurrence. Yes, we're still missing 3 paints. So, yes, we did get 4 new paints today. Yes, contrast paints to help me paint Space Wolves. Apparently the next model will come with some more as well. Right, so that needs to go find some sort of warm soapy water. That needs to find some water, and that needs to find a bin. Right. Although in the meantime, before anything else, a little trick Mike showed me. Let's get these 2 in it. Hand sanitizer. I don't normally use it. I don't. I like to try and keep it for as long as possible. I'll do this brush first. Some green stuff coming out, just a little bit. Do that, and it'll get a good wash in a moment, and then there's this one. There you go, look at that. Gets it right out of the brush. It works like methylated spirits for bigger paintbrushes for wall painting. Look at that. All it needs now is a good rinse off. And then that can be safely disposed of. So thank you, Mike Moans, for showing me those handy tricks that I never learnt until I met you. But then again, that is what I do love about the mini painting community. Even if we're pro painters or hobby painters or something in between or just beginners, we're all there to support each other. We're not, well, we are and we aren't, in that we're competition to each other. So mostly we're not, except when it comes to, you know, actual painting competition and business. Otherwise, we are a community who supports and looks after each other. And that is what amazes me the most, in a very good way. You want your faith restored for humanity? Hang out with the painting crew. Actually, I say the painting crew. I should extend that. The arts and crafts crew, because everybody that I have met in the arts and crafts crew so far, even if I haven't named you, have been absolutely freaking wonderful people. So I would just like to say how glad I am to have met you in the past few months. I wish I'd met you earlier. That's my only regret. I wish I'd met you earlier. But I've met you now, and that is an absolute awesome blessing. So hopefully I'll see some of you Wednesday. If not, you can always catch up on the streams here. So that was the reveal of Leman Russ. So I'm assuming that Gary and Trekkie are the next ones on the way. So I may have my own army to fight against Ojin with. Or fight with, because these two chapters go together quite happily as well. By against, I do mean that we will be recording games that we play, and I'll put the overhead camera on, and I'll move it to a table that can take the scenery and everything, and you can see us play. And probably Ojin beat me because I will play badly because I haven't played in such a long time, where Ojin is a rules lawyer. So
I've been reading the book and not even I know the rules.
apparently he's been reading the book, but not even he knows the rules completely. But he's a rules lawyer, people. He's a rules lawyer. He's actually the best type of rules lawyer to have at a D&D table, because he's not the type that argues at you with semantics. He's like, well, actually the book says this. Are you sure you want to go forward with this, or we're going to do this? And I usually use him as a co-DM because it keeps him out of trouble and it helps me with maths, because dice hates me. Anyone that knows me and has seen me play Baldur's Gate, I tend to roll the epic fails. So Ojin is my co-DM, one, because he knows the rules, so he's my living book, and two, because I need someone to roll dice that isn't me. So unless I'm tormenting my players, in which case I'm always quietly rolling dices to keep them on edge. You know who you are, little players. You know who you are. You remember, you made me your forever DM. Remember that. Okay, so anyway, I shall catch you all later, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little video of what I can only describe as a random weird reveal of musics and a reveal of another Horus Hersey Leman Russ Primarch. I mean, if I had read the bottom, I would have known who it was, but we were avoiding spoilers until the last minute. So, there we go. For one Horus Hersey. I do love these little boxes. And so far, so good with the model for the most part. A couple of air bubbles that, you know, aren't particularly model damaging, although I will have to keep an eye on the axe. And in full fairness to Forge World, unless they were using magnifying glasses or a microscope, they would have missed them. So those are, you know, it does get on my nerves when we get poor quality stuff like that. It does mean that they will need to actually look at how they are casting and how they are mixing their resins, because obviously it's being injected in too fast, or it's not being evenly mixed and it's causing air bubbles, and we're getting these micro bubbles which then make everything brittle. And I know how much these models cost, so it does annoy me when I see how much these cost and then you're getting so many troubles. But I do think it's repairable. So overall the model seems okay, but as I'm working with him at some point, we will find out just how bad those air bubbles are. We all know how me and air bubbles get with swords. I have got a sword on a character from old Forge World, back from 2011, I've got to work on, and his sword is full of air bubbles, so I'm going to have to drill it out, do the whole cavity check, and pin the sword back into place to give it the extra support it needs, and then probably find a way of hardening it. I do have ways, and it involves varnish, of all things. Actual varnish the hardening stuff you put on wood. But I can't paint that here because I don't have the thing to move the fumes, so it would have to be painted outside where the cameras can't see it, unfortunately. But that has been my secret in a lot of cases. It doesn't always work. Some resins do not react well to that. The only way to really test it, if it's going to work well with it or not, is if you've got a sprue like this that's got nothing on it. Put it on the sprue, leave it for an hour. If it's dissolved the sprue or damaged the sprue in any way, then you know it's not going to work with the resin that's on this the mini of that sprue. In which case avoid it. I do need to make some more sprue glue, so having these sprues around is going to be good. So that's the other thing, you can make sprue glue and repair it that way. There are ways, but my technique has been to use a little bit of varnish on the weakest points and then prime over that varnish. So you use the varnish like green stuff really, if, and I stress if, it's compatible with that particular type of model. It's not compatible for all. I don't think it's I don't know if it's going to be compatible with this. I will test it on this sprue to find out if it is. If I see any damage appearing, because what I'll do is I'll use the smooth bit. They have a shiny smooth bit at the bottom there, look. So that's your best spot, because if it's still shiny and smooth and it doesn't become pitted or melted in any way, then you know you're okay. But yeah, I don't highly recommend it, but that is one way of hardening it. The other one, of course, as I said, was sprue glue, which is where you take a contact cement designed for the resins, and you put the resin like this, you cut it up into little chunks and you put it into the glue and just leave it to dissolve into that glue, and then you get that resin liquefied into the glue. Doesn't work with all glues, only some glues. I think it's actually called contact cement. I haven't made it in a while, so I need to go find out what the new name for it is. But you basically put these in, and these dissolve into that glue basically, and then they become part of the glue. So when they set, it becomes the same resin, but with an extra reinforcement. And that's probably the best way, to be honest, is sprue glue. There's all sorts of little tricks out there, and I will be happy to share them over time. So I will see you soon. Please stay well, and hopefully see you on the next stream. Remember, I am still raising money for Great Ormond Street, so do check out my streams. If you can't check out the streams, check out the links that get posted all over our socials. The one you're actually looking for is the Till Tiffy link that takes you to a campaign for Great Ormond Street. It's called Sibby 2024, and on it we're trying to raise £500 for Great Ormond Street. Now, bless everyone that's done it over on my Twitch, which is the BlackfoxKitsune Twitch, where we've already currently got £30 at the time of my last checking. I haven't checked it today. Thanks to Mike Moans. So yes, the challenge there is, if you can get me to £200, I will have to wear fluffy ears for the remaining streams of August. If we can get me to £500, I will dress as a pseudo Viking. Now I say pseudo Viking because I don't have the whole cosplay kit. So I will cosplay as a pseudo Viking. So that would be a fur mantle and some war paint style face paint across my face, and the fluffy ears as part of the £200 challenge. So you will be making me dress like a pseudo Viking with bad makeup and fluffy ears. But you've got to get us to the £500 mark for that. So please do think about helping, because you will be, you know, by torturing me with these challenges, you will be helping children beat cancer by helping Great Ormond Street to finish and build their cancer ward for these very young people in need of help. And Great Ormond Street doesn't just do cancer, it is a children's hospital charity. So they are a hospital that focuses on the care and well-being of children in a way no other hospital in the UK does. There are now a couple of other hospitals in the world that do it, but they're few and far between. So, you know, every little bit helps. It does sadden me that an NHS hospital has to be reduced to fundraising and begging for money because our government won't fund them correctly. So, yes, please do, if you can, donate. If you can't donate monetary, donate some of your time. Just take the Till Tiffy link and share it among your socials, so we can try and generate some funding for this challenge. So the faster we generate this, the faster you get to torment me, and we can meet our goal, and we can all say we've done a good thing by helping children get the medical care they deserve and need. So, okay, I will see you on the other side, people. See you at the time of me making this. It's Monday, so I will see you Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. on my BlackfoxKitsune Twitch channel. Now, depending on how my chat interacts and what music gets played will depend on if that gets uploaded to the Lonewolf Clan YouTube or not. So hopefully, see you Wednesday on BlackfoxKitsune at 2:30 UK time. You can always check out the schedules if you need to see what time it is in your local zone. So the Twitch channels do have it in the schedules. Let me see if I can go find the schedules so you can see them here on screen. I need to add image. There we go. So image. We'll just call it image because I can't be bothered with arguing with it. So I need to go here. Need to go there. And there. I think I put it here. Right, there we go. So this is my schedule coming up on screen now. No, it's not, because it's not going to the right screen. So I'm going to come back to where I'm on the proper screen. We're going to come into studio mode so that it stops adding it to the wrong screen. I'm going to add image. I think it might be an image I already know. Yep, there we go. Right, so properties. So there you go. You can see which channel I am streaming on where on that. That is my schedule. So we'll put that mid-screen so you can see it and big it a bit. So Wednesday and Thursday, 2:30 to 6 p.m.-ish. I say ish because it depends on how the minis are behaving, how my health is going, and how much paint we have to watch dry. If we're just going to be ending up watching the paint dry for an hour and it's like 5 p.m, then I'm going to call it quits at that point. So it all depends. So I'm always going to say 6 till 6-ish, and I'm also going to say I'll start at 2:30-ish because that depends on tech. On Saturday and Sunday, I am over on the Lonewolf Clan Twitch. So that's Twitch TV/the_Lonewolf_Clan, where we do charity gaming. There are 3 hosts over there. Ojin does Mondays from 2:30 till 6. Grimsy does art, I think it's from 8. I will have to go check that now. So we'll put that there. I will now go make another image. I'm here trying to advertise our second channel, which is a group channel. Add image. Thank you. Right. So I'm already arguing with Discord. Not Discord. OBS. Ugh. Right, so I need to get to the right panels. Now I'm going to find it. I think it's in Lonewolf Clan somewhere. Animated screens. Shed 1. There we go. Okay. So there is schedule for the Lonewolf Clan. So you can see there. Okay, I'm just gonna. There you go. So Ojin, there we go. So time zones are in UK time zone. So do go over to this link, the twitch.tv there, or you can alternatively use our link tree, which is absolutely everywhere. Go check it out because Ojin is 2 till 6 p.m. and he is doing RTS Monday. At the moment, I believe he is playing, is it Total War Warhammer 3? And he will be playing as the Nordlings, is it?
Norse race.
The Norse race, basically. Grimsy Grimoire, it does art or gaming on his Tuesday. It depends what he is up for and what's going on in his day. He may or may not be streaming, depending on how his insomnia has acted the day before, because sometimes he can pass out. So we see Grimsy every now and then, depending on his health. So he'll be on from 7 till 10 on Tuesday. I come on and do Saturday and Sunday. So we have Game Challenge Night Saturday, where I am forced to play a particular game until we complete it. And the community previously voted on, I had to play Witcher 3 Wild Hunt until I complete it and do as many side missions as I can find. And I have to put the side missions ahead of the main story. So occasionally I have to progress the main story to get more side missions. My community are mean. On Sunday, I call it Random Games Night. So you may see on the schedule it says it's a particular game. It may not necessarily be that game. I had hoped to have played Bounty Hunter this Sunday, but that didn't happen. And we ended up playing Space Hulk. So sometimes we do play community games where you guys can actually come and join us. So you just have to join our Lonewolf Clan Discord and come join our stream chat. and you can come join us and play games there. Then we have Collab Fridays. This is sometimes called Fright Night Fridays if we have a horror aspect going on to it. This is where sometimes me and Grimsy, or me and some other people, or Grimsy and some other people will pick up the Friday collab, and we will collaborate with other streamers or each other, and we will play random games together. So it's basically a co-op game night, and it can be any type of game, everything from app games to streams to PC games to sometimes even console games. Me and Ojin were doing it on Sunday, so even my random game Sundays can end up as a bit of a collab. Heck, we even play things like Phasmophobia when it's working, Demonologist when it's working, Ghost Watchers when it's working, and Devour when it's working. All of these are currently bugged to bits, so we can't play them. So do come and check out the Lonewolf Clan's Twitch, as well as obviously my Twitch. Need to miniaturize that because it's eating my link. So there we are. I've got my own link tree, but you can find any Lonewolf Clan host on that Lonewolf Clan link tree. So if they are a host or an official host on this channel, you will find them on that link tree at the very bottom. So Grimsy's on there, Ojin's on there, and I'm on there. Now, fair enough, Ojin currently does not stream outside of the Lonewolf Clan at the moment. Whether or not he does is a whole other different question. He's not sure yet. The reason he's staying with Lonewolf Clan at the minute is because he gets my full support, because I can help him with tech issues constantly in the background. I can moderate for him and do all this background stuff that you guys don't get to see me doing, which I usually do from Friday to Sunday.
I also help you in the background.
Ojin does help me a lot in the background as well. A lot of the chaos you see going on in my painting streams, Ojin is managing in the background for me, so I don't have to leave too often. Although now I have new headsets, I can actually do a lot more of it without being chained to my computer. So do come and check us out. I'm sorry I've made this plug a bit long, but there's our schedules. So I will see you at the point of this Wednesday over on my channel. I do, as I said, if they are appropriate to load, they will appear on the Lonewolf Clan's YouTube channel for later watching, for anyone that wants to catch up on the stream, where you can watch them at 0.5 or 0.2 or 0.25 speed, so you can have them sped up. Because they are long streams, and frankly, even I don't like watching back streams, but they are there if you wanted to catch up on them. So yeah, there's that. And as you can see, I even on my own schedule, I advertise that I come across to here. So that's the Lonewolf Clan. That's mine. So the red one is Lonewolf Clan, as it quite clearly states. And as you can see, there are 3 hosts active. There are 3 named hosts active on that channel. Each one has their own stream key to allow them to be active on that channel. All 3 of us are also active on the YouTube, the Lonewolf Clan. And as I said earlier, there is now a new Lonewolf Clan. It's called the Lonewolf Clan Music. It is attached to the main thing. It is also found in the link tree. And there as I said earlier, we do copyright, royalty-free music using an AI generator. And that's because we've just had enough of YouTube shenanigans whenever we want to play music. So I do ask that if you are using our music, please do email the Lonewolf Clan. Its email is in its description, in the channel description. Failing that, you can always find me on Discord. Basically, all I want to do with the email thing is, if you want to use our stuff, I want to be able to give you written consent, so that if there is any YouTube shenanigans, you guys can go, well, actually, we have consent. Thanks. And it's a nice legally piece of binding paper. Or text. Because you can print it out, it's time-stamped and dated, and it's therefore a legally binding document. So it helps you on the legal problems if you do have YouTube shenanigans. It also allows us to contest it easier. The other thing is, I do say please credit us if you use our stuff, because obviously we want people to find us as well. So it's got to work both ways. And as for remixing, I have set the videos to no remixing at this time, and that's only because the ones we've got up on YouTube right now are not complete versions. And I want to keep a lid on remixing for the time being anyway. But at some point later down the line, we will allow it. I do also allow, as I said on my stream last night, people to use them to make fan video content for, tributes they wish to make. I know that some places don't like their media being used for tribute videos, but I used to make fan videos back in the day, and I'd be remiss if I said, no, we don't want that. Especially a lot of our music that we're working on at the minute, as you've probably noticed, is Norse themed at the moment. Aside from the parodies we're doing, where we call it the Lonewolf Clan Saga, which tells you about how we set sail to the digital seas of 98, and have been gaming ever since. The runes that we say that have fallen silent are our fallen comrades, the original members who have sadly passed away due to what life throws at us. These guys would have been in their 40s this year, but sadly life made it that they didn't make it to that, so it took them early. So as BlackfoxKitsune, I am now the only surviving original founder of the 5, so I am looking to set this up as a legacy that can carry on beyond me, so that if I, when my time comes to transcend Valhalla, that it can be carried on and do some good for people out there. So the idea is we want to set it up as a community venture so that it can continue to raise money for charities around the globe and bring gamers together at the same time. So there'll be a space for people that may want to go pro gaming. There'd be a space for people that just want to chill, because it is based around the casual gamer that has real life things, or the solo gamer that just wants the aspect of being able to call on teammates without being under the pressure to turn up to, shall we say, scripted guild events, like you must be on Wednesday at 6 o'clock and join this event, or you will be kicked out of the guild level stuff. Now, I know there are guilds that run like that out there, and I know there are guilds that don't. We're a guild that doesn't. I've always taken a chilled, laid-back approach to how things are supposed to be run, sometimes to a detriment, because that means I have to play the bad guy as the manager, and then people have temper tantrums when I have to call a staff meeting to try and solve problems that have probably gone on longer than they should have. And I am saying people, I'm not just going to register that down to one person, because these troubles do get blown up on a massive dramatic level, because it's human nature when they feel under attack. And this last set of drama is hardly the first set of drama, by the way. It's human nature. It happens, and it's happened a lot over the last 30 years or so now. I mean, this guild was funded in the, as they now call it, the late 1900s. So basically last century. We founded in 1997. We became part of the internet in 98, when it became a global, more of a global phenomenon, not just a localized one. And we've been going from there. So we started from a group that used to gather for LAN parties to a group that started playing over the internet. And this didn't just, limit itself down to computer games, but also tabletop games, LARP, reenactment, cosplay, basically everything nerd and boffin culture. So we're not limited. There's a bit of everything going on in the clan, which does make for a lot of server things within our servers. So if you ever join the main Lonewolf Clan general server, there's a bit of everything going on. We do have a D&D dedicated one, because it did get a bit much. So we're trying to find the D&D server way down the bottom of a lot of other servers. I was like, okay, we'll make a D&D only server, because tabletop gaming needs its own space, because it needs to be big in its own right. We also have a mental health server and a gaming clan server. So you may spot the game Blackfox game clan. So yeah, the gaming clan one is for the Hero Wars. That's just so that we can keep it more focused on Hero Wars and not spam out the general chat. So yes, do please check out our stuff on the Lonewolf Clan Linktree. Some browsers or antiviruses may flag it as dangerous. It is just a Linktree. It is nothing more. It's just because it doesn't contain the http://www. that so many antiviruses demand now. That is all it is. So yeah, please do check out the Linktrees. They will take you to more information. And as I was saying earlier, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a good evening, afternoon, or morning, whatever time it is when you are watching this. See you soon, folks.